I'm realizing a lot of people don't know that putting your money in a bank, it's a waste of time. Mostly these big banks, man, it's a scam. Guys, the taxes that they're taking at one time I had a TD, I had to close it the next month. I'm like, what? My own money, you are doing what? 4% for what? You paying yourself? Did I ask? No, for me. Like, let me talk about cars. Like that one is the one that like, okay, if you want to get a bigger house and then put yourself in debt, okay, maybe you want to live that life. It's okay. But with cars, I see people going to get cars that they know.
I know.
Girl.
Okay, so I'll tell you a story about my car. So when I first got my car, I got my car 2018, right?
Okay.
A nice, cute Hyundai sedan. And it took me to and from. So I didn't really care about buying like a luxury car. I just needed a car to take me from A to B because I did not want to push my son on the stroller on the bus.
Yes.
Not, and in the wintertime,
Definitely
no
not.
thank you. So I got my car. But one of the things that I didn't pay attention to was what are the rules in terms of financing a car? What does that look like? What are the stipulations? And so when I financed my car the first time, I heard 0 down. Right? So on the debt, say, my interest rate on a credit card is 18%. So you mean to tell me every time now the debt is working against me, it's doubling faster than when I was investing my money? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if my car is being financed for 7 years and it's only year 2, how much am I giving the car dealership? So say my car is like 25K, I would have gave them 40K on top of that for interest. How? I said no, absolutely not. So when I learned that, I was like, okay, finance is to each your own. If I had someone teach me, hey, this is what it looks like if you finance a car, why don't you just save 10K and buy a used car? Then at least I'm only paying for car insurance. But now you're paying for car insurance plus car payments,
Maintenance.
and then gas, mechanic, oil change.
Hey guys, welcome to Bella Let's Talk. Today we're bringing it in with a topic about finance, and we want to be so real with you guys. Like we're breaking it down how we do it with our own life, and then just be transparent as much as we can. So there was no other greater person to have this conversation with than Billy herself. Hi, girlie.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Yeah.
Happy to be back.
I know, right? It's been a long time.
Missed you very much, girl.
Me too, baby. How you doing?
Aw.
You looking cute.
Thank
A lot of
you.
stuff
You
I
look
can
good
do.
as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question. I saw you posting and then you were saying something about your goals.
Yes.
And I think that's how we're like, like let's do a podcast.
I know, yeah, my audacious goals.
Yes.
Okay, so for the
Please.
viewers at home,
Mhm.
I had posted a video where I gave myself
Mhm.
obviously a year to hit my goals. And I have this thing where first quarter will come, which is January, February, March. That's like my test run because, new year, new me. Okay, let me just see if my habits that I had the year prior, am I going to still keep it? I'm sure you guys know as well, life happens, right? So when April came, it was really good for me because my parents went back home for 6 weeks. Whereas back home, Ghana. And so that already left me in a position where I have caretakers at home. Nobody's home. It's just me, my kids, and my brothers. They have lives. They have to go work. And so when my 2 older kids would go to school, it's just me and my youngest son, who's only 3. And so a lot of the things that I already had planned, as an example, like going to the gym, I couldn't go to the gym, right? I had things like where I want to read 25 books at least, minimum, which is a lot. And yeah, when April came and my parents came back, that was an opportunity for me to kind of look at everything and say, okay, this is where I am now. Let me just reverse engineer and see what is it that I can do from April 14 until December 31st to make sure that I can hit my goals and targets or not. So yeah, and I also was very bold with it as well because I want people to also see, okay, if you do say you want to do this, it's all a matter of what's the gap and what's the gain. If I know my gap is I want to have a summer body and I'm not going to the gym, okay, then I need to at least go 2 times a week. Okay, when I build the habit to go 2 times, let me increase it 3 times, 4 times, right? What was another thing? Oh, I had 6 trips, as in like Las Vegas, going to Montreal, going to Washington. And I think those 2 can be a thing, but you have to kind of prioritize, look at your budget, be realistic to what your circumstance looks like. I had other things listed where like I want to go on individual dates with my kids, right? I have 3. And I find if we're always in the house all the time, they don't have an opportunity to be themselves, right? So you can imagine if you were an older brother, you have to operate as an older brother all the time. So I want to give my son an opportunity to just hang out with mommy. Hey, like, what is it like? It's just me and you. You don't have to worry about your sister. You don't have to worry about your brother. Things like that. So I just found, at least being an advisor, let me show you guys, okay, if I'm going to hit my goal, yes or no.
I love that so much, how you can even put yourself in a place where you say, this is are the things that I need to get done
Mhm.
as a mother, and then get it done at this time,
Yeah.
I feel like when, like, to be real with the goals that you're setting, first of all, you have to be real to yourself.
Exactly.
And then can you tell us in the place? I know the like you're planning to have trips, but at the same time you have a certain goal. I think you said 25K to save by the
Oh,
end
by
of this year.
December 31st.
Yes. So
Yeah.
tell us, like, how you gonna manage both? Like how much are you gonna be saving,
Right.
like, to get to that goal? And then you are taking trips, and then for sure you have to eat. Like, your rent is expensive. Tell us a little bit, like, please.
Yeah, so at least an advantage on my side is
Mhm.
I had made a video before about not renewing my lease, and I went back to live with my parents. So I go from paying like, say my portion for rent was like $1,000. Now I go from paying $1,000 to maybe 400. So now that's $600 that I'm moving somewhere else, right? So that helped a lot. Again, I don't also pay for daycare. My kids are home all the time with my dad, right? So that also is a breeze. Now I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. So I'm not burning gas. I don't have to take transit. A lot of my appointments I do on Zoom. So there's things that work in my favor to kind of at least give me an advantage in achieving those goals versus other people. But as well, if I know that I have to save 25K by the end of December, then I know on my part I need to at least make an income of like 3,500, 4,000 at least.
Mhm.
So you can see, before I look at one end, the other end is already solved. And it's a matter of, okay, these are the things that I could do daily. These are the things I could do weekly. These are the things I could do monthly. And I just look at it. I kind of score myself, at least not every Sunday, but say every month. I'd like to do an audit, which I find when life is already so fast for you, you don't have a chance to audit, right? And I find I'm a pretty reflective person. So I have the opportunity to like kind of check myself. Okay, I was doing this last month. Let me not do that this month, right? And again, with being an advisor and I have all these appointments, I have to be in the spirit of practicing what I preach, right? So the same thing that I've done, I've met so much people where they're living at a place and they can't afford it. Okay, well, if you could go home, go home. I did it. It's an ego killer, sure, but it kills me also that I can't save. It kills me that I can't pay my bills. So go home. That's just basically what it is. So I tell them sometimes I have to be realistic, Rachel. Yes, on the call, I'm Philly to you, but realistic Rachel will tell you very kindly, if you want to do this, you have to be able to sacrifice this. Like, what are your trade-offs? I'm aware of my trade-offs. So that's how I normally navigate on a day-to-day basis.
I think it takes a lot of discipline also, because I
Oh
do
yeah.
agree. Like, moving, I remember I moved out from my mom's house. I love that peace. I love that I can do what I want, kind of thing. And then now you have to come back, because honestly, at that time I was just like, my mom was sick, so I'm like, okay, let me go back home. I can help a little bit. And then she got well, but the time she got well, like, the rent I was checking, it was too high. I'm like, you know what? I'm waiting for Mr. Somebody to come and take me out. I'm not leaving this house, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, we have to come to a place where we understand that going back home to your mother's or your father's home, if you have that opportunity,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong.
Correct.
Yes, they can, most African parents, let's be real, they can get you somewhere.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as you said, you have to kill that ego to
Mhm.
be able to, right?
Yes.
So, in my question for you now is, okay, yeah, you don't have to pay that much for rent now, so you are saving it,
Mhm.
and then you get to your goal quick as possible.
Right.
So, when you are getting to that goal, are you planning, like, to move out later on, or you're trying to buy a house? What's next after that? Like, what keeps you, like, I have to make this goal happen, because some people, they can tell themselves, like, oh, by the end of this year, or by December so and so, I want to
Yeah.
save like 10K. But then they sit down, they're like, wait a minute, why am I saving 10K again? And then they just give up on it,
Yeah, I
So
know.
what's for you? What is something somebody can use to help them, like, keep up, like, going?
Okay. So in terms of being disciplined, I actually don't mind making sacrifices.
Mm.
I don't mind if I know that the long-term gain is this is gonna get me here, then it's the perspective that helps. a lot of the times people like to complain,
Mm.
right? So if you're gonna complain, are you gonna at least solution seek? Like, what's plan A? What's plan B? What's plan C? Right? I think that usually is so important. In terms of going to move out again, I would not. No,
Mhm.
because I understand the power of ownership, right? If I know, at least for me right now, my mom is working towards owning her home, right? So we're paying a mortgage. In a couple of years, the house will be paid off. So now that gives leverage to me and my brothers to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to use the equity on the house? Are we just going to renovate it and keep it in house and make it a generation thing?
Mhm.
So again, just per my circumstance, I have that opportunity and that leverage. If it was something where I moved back to my parents and we just cannot coexist in the same space, I would move for sure.
Okay.
But my kids also grew up in that house. So to me, it's like I'm not really in a rush. I can say, yes, I did it. I moved out. These were the pros and cons to it. But again, if I know that I'm putting myself in a position where I want to save for a home, whether it's in the city or it's out of town, at least I have the opportunity to do so, right? I've done the pros and cons of moving out. Moving out cost me so much money for groceries.
Yes.
Then we were commuting our kids from Etobicoke to Brampton to go to school because when school is done, somebody would pick them up and at least they get dropped off. It was like, there's just some things that I did it once, I wouldn't do it again. And if I were to do it again, I would be really strategic about it this time.
Mm.
100%.
I like that.
But you have to also remember with African parents, remember, I had the opportunity to come back.
Yes.
There's some parents where they say, you left, don't come back. I had access to my key, right? Like the key, they never took it away from me. So I used to come and go as I please. But I also know as well for other people, they don't have that type of like blessing, I guess, where if you move out of your parents, they say come home. They'll tell you, no, you thought you were an adult.
Yeah.
Go out there and figure out where else to stay. And then that's that person's reality. So yeah, I find, at least if I'm speaking for myself, that's how it worked for me. But I don't know if that's the same opportunity for others out there because I know everyone's relationship with their parents could be different and all that stuff.
I do agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
But I think also, like, if you're in Canada, for example, you get even the government houses and stuff. So that can help. Or like move in with a friend, move in
Yeah.
somebody you trust and to help yourself out with the rent.
Right.
Or even don't dream too big. Start small. Like, honestly, start small and then you will upgrade later. Like, I always look at the people who will, like, for example, for
Yeah.
me, like, let me talk about cars. Like, that
Okay.
one is the one that, like, okay, if you want to get a bigger house and then put yourself in debt, okay, maybe you want to live that life. It's okay. But with cars, I see people going to get cars that they know.
I know.
Girl,
Yeah.
and I've seen your car.
Yes.
Please speak on because at the
My
moment I don't have
gracefully
a car.
broken car. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you a story about my car. So when I first got my car, Zane was almost 1. So say I got my car 2018, right?
Okay.
A nice, cute Hyundai sedan. And it took me to and from. So I didn't really care about buying like a luxury car. I just needed a car to take me from A to B because I did not want to push my son on the stroller on the bus.
Yes.
Not, and in the wintertime,
Definitely
no
not.
thank you. So I got my car. But one of the things that I didn't pay attention to was, what are the rules in terms of financing a car? What does that look like? What are the stipulations? And so when I financed my car the first time, you know, I heard 0 down. I don't have to put money on a car. Okay, please, let me just sign and take my car and go, right?
Yeah.
Then they also look at your credit and stuff. So I
Yes.
think at that time my credit was okay. So I was able to finance the car by myself. Now, it's not until that I started learning about finances, right? Where I learned about this rule called the Rule of 72, where it just simply teaches you how quickly your money can double for you and against you.
Can
Now,
you
at
tell
that-
us a little bit, please?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So the Rule of 72 will just teach any individual. The 72 number is your magic number. And you would basically, I believe you are able to do the equation where you're multiplying the rate or dividing it. I can't remember off the top of my head. But say I had what is that story I use? So say you go to the bank, right? And you save $10,000.
Okay.
Now that $10,000, let's say that's what you use working at McDonald's and you're 29, right? You go, hey, TD, thank you so much for being my bank since I was small. I'm gonna help. I want you guys to invest my 10K for me. No problem. You know, thank you for being a trusted customer. Here's a cup for your troubles. Now, if you take the number 72, right, and you divide it or multiply it by the age, which is 29,
Oh, okay.
or no, the interest rate. So say the interest rate is 1%.
Okay.
Traditional banks don't give you 1%, but say they're going to be nice and give you 1%. Now, if you multiply 72 by 1, it's going to give you 72. So you mean to tell me it's going to take me 72 years for money to double for me now?
Imagine.
So now imagine being 101, your 10,000 now turned to 20K. Can you wait?
No.
And that's still not taking into account like the monthly fees that they charge. You're not even depositing any more money. You just put the one-time lump sum and you gave the bank the opportunity to double your money for you. It's going to take ages for it to grow, right? But when they taught me that example, that didn't move me. It was more of what it looked like in terms of debt, right? So on the debt, say, my interest rate on a credit card is 18%. And if I'm multiplying that by what was it? Or dividing it by 72, I can't remember. It will give me a number of like 3.6. So I'm gonna round it out to 4. So you mean to tell me every time now the debt is working against me, it's doubling faster than when I was investing my money? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if my car is being financed for 7 years and it's only year 2, how much am I giving the car dealership? So say my car is like 25K, I would have gave them 40K on top of that for interest. How? I said no, absolutely not. So when I learned that, I was like, okay, finance is to each your own. If I had someone teach me, hey, this is what it looks like if you finance a car, why don't you just save 10K and buy a used car? Then at least I'm only paying for car insurance. But now you're paying for car insurance plus car payments and
Maintenance.
then gas, mechanic, oil change. Oh my gosh, like I'm just a girl.
Listen,
Yeah, no, that part really annoyed me.
and then that's where a lot of people don't get. I'm like, guys, listen, the dream cars you want, you can get there,
Yeah.
but don't be in debt trying to.
Yes.
It just doesn't make
It's
sense.
not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not
And the
worth
other
it.
thing you're mentioning, I'm realizing a lot of people don't know that putting your money in a bank, it's a waste of time. Mostly these big banks, man, it's a scam. Guys, the taxes that they're taking
Yeah.
at one time I had a TD. I had to close it the next month. I'm like, what? My own money, you are doing what? 4% for what? You paying
Yeah.
yourself? Did I ask?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Listen.
In terms of the banks, I will never ever tell someone that the bank is an enemy.
Okay.
They're not. They're doing their job. They're a lending institution. So they make money off of you being in debt to them. Point blank period.
True.
In terms of what I say for you to invest your money with them, I would just highly encourage someone to look at other options. Okay. It's not even more the banks. I think you have to more look at what is the government doing, and they are just doing what the government tells them to do, just
It's
like
true.
any other job. You get what I'm saying? So I would always tell people to exercise your options, make sure that you are educated about what you're doing. And if you are going to invest, are you in the position to lose the money? Most cases,
is.
people are not in the position to lose the money. Or sometimes if somebody has a really bad first experience, it will scar them from even trying again. Right? So it's just more of educating yourself first before blindly acting, because that will really give you ignorance tax for sure.
Then that's how I like you have to study first for your own.
Mhm.
Because for example, for me, I prefer having my bank. Sorry, I don't have only my business that has like BMO.
Mm.
But everything else I use the online banks. Because
Yeah.
I
have
don't want to be.
both.
You have both?
I have
That's
both.
really good.
Like I still have my traditional banking
Yeah?
institutions. I have my digital banks.
Oh. Yeah, I
Well,
rather digital.
I find when you have the traditional accounts, at least again, not everybody's gonna probably want to buy a house or get a mortgage, but when you do have to build your portfolio and show them,
True.
hey, I want to buy a house, they have to kind of see. Like, I don't know if Tangerine gives out checkbooks, but I know TD does. I know RBC does, right? I
Yeah.
know those banks do. So I think when it comes to certain stipulations,
You
you just have to know what banks works for you in terms of what your dream is or what your goal is. But people also forget to that what I wanted to do 5 years ago, I probably don't care to achieve now. Like life changes with you, right? I always tell people all the time, like I've had a couple clients lately where they'll have something from like 10 years ago and it doesn't serve them now. But what I tell them actively is when you grow, your advisor is kind of supposed to grow with you. But in the space that I'm in, a lot of people are here more for like the what is that thing? Like whatever they make, the commissions, right? People stay for that. They don't really care to grow with you. So for example, if I was young and I had a doctor, you normally would grow old with your doctor, right? Because your doctor's not being money hungry.
Yeah.
But to the professionals that come into that space that are money hungry, they're here 2-3 years and they disappear. And now you have a new agent that you don't know, that doesn't know what your financial plans are. They don't know your family. And then the cycle continues. And then imagine you being a client. Now you're looking at them like you're just nothing but like a dollar sign to me, or you're just chasing a sale. Now they don't want to talk to you. Their guard is up, all that stuff. So I just like to remind people, because I naturally love what I do, I don't see myself ever quitting being in the finance space.
Wow.
If anything, it's gonna grow with me. It's gonna embody me.
Yeah.
My kids will learn from me for sure. It also gives me so many different opportunities. I'm not just a a blue collar financial advisor. I find I'm a very decorated financial advisor. So yeah, it's nice.
I like it for you.
Yeah.
I love it for you. And then my question is like, I was watching, now they've been the thing where everyone want to teach about finance. And
Yeah.
then I find it so unreal because I'm like, yeah, most of the people are talking about this advice about finance. It's people who are a bit older, number
Mm,
one. And yes, it's
okay.
good. I appreciate it, sir. You have grown, but in your days, like, you know,
It's different times, I think
thank
is what you're
you.
saying. Yeah.
And then they want to tell you about this rule about 50-30-20. So the
Mhm.
50 being the need, the 30% being the want, and the 20% for saving.
Yeah.
But I'm like, mommy, like, oh, sorry, like, yo, me, I get real with this stuff
Yeah.
because a lot of young people, yes, we are loving this podcast, we're listening to different things, watching different videos, but we never sit down and think of for our own mind, like,
Right.
our own, like, hey, yo, I'm in this situation, I'm in this country. They're speaking of this from the other country. The
Yeah.
taxes that we pay,
Yes, I know what you mean.
you
I
know what I mean?
know.
So, like, do you believe in those rules? Like, how can you like break it to make it suit?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what people need to understand when it comes to finances, it's not a one size cookie cutter fit all kind of thing. It's very individualistic. Meaning, if someone gave both of us financial advice, it may apply better to you or it may apply better to me, but probably not the both of us at the same time. Right? So if I'm speaking for myself, I remember say when COVID had came, I would hear things about like entrepreneurship. I would hear the same thing 50, 20, 30. How do you do this? Da, da, da. But when I'm reading these things, I'm trying to think to myself, how does this apply to me? How does this work for me? How would I do 50, 30, 20 and I'm on EI?
Ooh.
Because I'm on mat leave, right? How
Yes.
does that make
Yeah.
sense? How does 50, 30, 20 work if I have debt that's like 60K and my interest rates are eating up all my funds? It's like those things kind of don't make sense. And I realize, at least being in this space, there's different components that actually build what a financial plan is, right? And one thing that I love that you spoke about was when you watch these videos, a lot of these things are more states driven, right? Oh, do this in your IRA. And I'm like, what's an IRA compared to RRSP? Well, like, what does that mean for me? Like, and I always have to even fact check things for myself. Like, I'll listen to the footage and I'll ask, how does this work in Ontario?
Thank
Because
you.
what you guys are speaking about is in your state, in your country, but it doesn't work here. And I find a lot of people already don't speak about finances. Either they don't know or they don't want people to know, right? Like kind of like a gatekeeping kind of thing. And I was like, I already knew coming into this space, I wanted to be very knowledgeable and I wanted to be extremely accessible as well. Because I find when people find things that work for them, they don't want to share.
Thank you.
It's like, oh no, I want to keep this secret for me. And it's like, why? Like, I find if this worked for me, I'm going to announce to everybody, oh my God, I did this and it worked. And I need you to know, please tell your auntie, your mommy, and So the 50, 30, 20, it's not like it's a bad finance advice, but people just need to understand that, does it work for you? It's very individualistic. Like, I love telling people that it's a very holistic approach. You got to look at something from the bottom up, right? Or in terms of, okay, if you're doing 50, 30, 20, are you even working to at least apply the 50 somewhere? You don't, right? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm clapping hands because that's what I say. Because what I love about it, though, it can make you think again, like, hey, I will not go buy something like a bag because it's trending or a shoe because it's
Right.
trending, than to think of, oh, I haven't paid my bills, right? So
Yeah,
I like
no.
in that way, like it can make you like live below your means,
For sure.
but be real to yourself.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young people are getting depressed and this stuff. Like, I'm like, it's finance. Finance,
Yeah.
you will grow. We have a long time to grow in finance,
yeah.
And don't have these dreams. I want to be an entrepreneur. The other
It's
day,
a job.
girl, you can't sleep.
It's not a luxury.
Girl,
It's a
you
job.
can't sleep. The other, yo, let's not go there,
It's very exhausting.
girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Very
I
exhausting.
recently had to go back to the gym because I was about to lose my mind.
No way.
Because it was too much.
Oh.
Yeah, it was too much because I made it a thing where with Bella Let's Talk, I make sure I pay somebody to edit for me because I cannot focus to edit and then think about the next episode and like I get distracted.
Right.
So I pay somebody to edit. But even though I pay them to edit, it's still me who has to finalize it.
Right.
It's still me who has to find the title. It's still me who have to accept, like I have to watch it again. Like there's so much more work to do as well, right? And then I also have other businesses on the side. So like to do that and then like do my own life, girl, I was like, you know what? I have to make it a thing every morning at a certain time. I have to go to the gym by force, not
Right.
just because I want to tone out and not, no, because my mindset, like I need help,
Right.
And yeah, and then I'm gonna be applying. Like I saw you were saying like you're gonna start taking vacations and stuff. I'm like, maybe this year I'm gonna add 2 vacations because we need it.
Yeah.
But my question now is, I think this is the right time to ask you. You keep making a certain statement about having a manager. You're like,
Yes.
guys, let me tell you a story. Like she mentioned it like twice. I'm like, like it's a big deal. Okay, I love it for you.
Thanks.
But tell me, why did you decide to have a manager?
Okay, so in terms of having a manager, okay, I felt like you alluded to it perfectly. When you're an entrepreneur, you're in your brain a lot. Sometimes I think they call it like ADHD, but I don't like to claim that stuff on me. I just like to say I'm very hyperactive. So for myself, I find like, okay, I want to get this done. I gotta go here. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. But in me doing that, I'm doing it by myself, right? I don't have someone kind of like following me and telling me, hey, when you did this, you should have sat up straight or think about this next time. A lot of the stuff I'm doing it on my own, right? And I'm also in a space now where it's like, if I have dreams and I have a partner, I would like to at least hope that my partner is on the same page with me and kind of help me grow and make it come to fruition and all those things. So yeah, I was like, yeah, at this point. And it was my mentor actually that kind of made it like, oh, if this is what she's doing, then I want to be able to copy it too. Because in the class, if she's having a tech problem, she'd be like, manager. And she'd be like, oh, it's my husband though. And it's nice to see that it's so healthy that, he sees that you're pouring into your dream and he wants to be a support system for you. I was like, yeah, if this is what my mentor's doing, then I want to adopt that. So that's basically why.
I love that for you. Honestly, everybody needs a support because sometimes you forget stuff. But when you have that one friend or for you, it's like, somebody you're close to, it's good.
Yeah.
They check you. For me, for example, Bella's like, I have 2 managers.
Okay.
Because it's like when we're planning for events, like Bella zones out. I'm like, guys,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
know.
be think about an interview, then think about how many people we're gonna have for an event, then
Right.
think who to invite for an event.
Yeah.
Like I'm a human. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Like honestly, like when
Yeah.
God gives you a vision, like you have to be more like you have to have a strategy that's bigger
Correct.
than what you think.
It's true.
Because me starting Bella Let's Talk, I didn't think it would go like people don't see it as big, but I see it as big, because every event we do, we have different numbers. And then for me, I haven't like accepted it like, yo, this is a reality.
Correct. Yeah.
I have people who are begging, can we have a part 2 of the last
I
event we
remember.
did,
Yeah, yeah.
And then now my manager is saying there's this event we have to do. So I'm like, okay, guys, you know what? I'm just a human. I'm here, because I don't know what to do. I want to satisfy the people, but my manager also is saying this is what's gonna happen. So I'm trying to breathe, okay? Catch up my breath, guys. Come on. So I do encourage if anyone you want to start something, please find somebody who can put you in line. Somebody can correct you. Somebody can remind you things you haven't done. Because there's some meetings that I miss, and she's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like the other day, there's a meeting. Like, man, it's so
It's a
bad, and I'm
lot.
always late. So I'm trying to manage.
You don't say. Work on your tardiness.
I have to.
No, you should though.
I will.
Yeah,
Because it's
it's
embarrassing.
good.
Yeah, I will. So now, how do you choose a mentor? Like, recently I was watching. I forgot her name, guys. Forgive me. She does a podcast. You know her.
I do.
You do, because she's well known. She recently did a book, and she was on Oprah's
Who's that?
podcast. I forgot her name, but she been the sweetest person I was watching. And I'm like, okay, I found a mentor for something.
Okay.
So I find mentors for different things.
Right.
Do you do it like that?
I do that
or-
also. I don't have one mentor to do everything. I
Yes.
kind of have this person does this. I follow this person for this. I like this person for this. Balance is good.
Yes.
I think even with mentors, like I do this program with women of color where I allude to entrepreneurship. I tell them the good, bad, and the ugly, like,
Mhm.
and I'll tell them in terms of mentors, like, you have to kind of do your own research in terms of like, am I allowed to ask them certain questions, read their body language? Are they freely giving you information or are they suppressing you at
Wow.
certain moments? Like, you will be surprised. You would be surprised. I have this saying that my mentor taught me: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes, I have heard
I
that.
love that line
I have
so
heard
much
that. Yeah.
because I just find the fact that like you could do a lot of things on your own, right? Like entrepreneurship will always allude to the fact that when you do things on your own, you will make mistakes, which I like to classify them as lessons. I find mistakes a little bit negative.
Mhm.
So you will learn a lot of lessons, but I like to leverage the mentor's knowledge and their experience in that space. So now I'm not repeating the same thing they did.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So an example of that would be like my mentor in the finance space. She's been in the business basically 8 years. I'm 4, right? And she always tells every single one of us, I want you guys to pass me.
Wow.
That already let me know this person's a vibe
Yeah.
because you're not jealous. You
Mhm.
don't want to keep me lower than you. If anything, you're like, Philly, if I don't even want to do this anymore, I would love if you did it for me. Those type of words and language makes a difference, right? Or sometimes too, I hear people say it a lot where they'll collab with somebody and they had like a bad experience. So then I'll ask them, okay, because you had a bad experience with person A, you're not gonna go to B. Now the dream stops. Now the journey is on pause because this person was rude. That to me, it's like more of a mindset thing. Like, how bad do you want it? Like, are you gonna conform to your reality or are you gonna push against the resistance? Yeah, no, all those things matter, but it's also a mindset thing. Like, do you do your due diligence and read and watch YouTube videos or go to the seminars and meet these people in person? Like, there's so many things that when it comes to mentors, I wouldn't expect one mentor to do everything.
I agree.
What if this is a good mentor in terms of teaching me finances, but she's a terrible wife? I would not take wife advice from you, 100%.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll be a product of you and of how you carry your relationship there. I'll bring it at home. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for us believers too, we gotta be careful
Oh,
because
yeah.
because like I realize like that part also plays a lot with me. If my spirit doesn't click with them, I won't watch them. But
It's so
I'm
true.
sorry.
No, it's so true.
Because
I wouldn't either.
I don't want to bother.
Yeah.
But I think too. Sometimes it's harder when you cannot find a mentor that you talk to face,
Right.
because it's like you can watch them, but like, like, is it really who you are, or
Mhm.
like is this like the camera in front of you that you're talking to? But I found out that reading books also do help a lot,
Mhm.
and then so now my question is for you, Philly, with the event that you're about to do.
Oh, yeah, my
Yes,
workshop.
yes, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you.
Thanks.
How do you organize something like this? And
Yeah.
how did it come in mind? And then what should we expect?
Mhm.
Like, can you tell us a little bit of that part of you?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So my workshop is going to be virtual. Virtual just more for me, just because it's a weekday. It's literally in the middle of the week on a Wednesday.
Mhm.
And you know what? I'll even go back in time. So, like I told you guys, I had my goals. My goals actually was I was supposed to do a workshop every month, right? But
Mhm.
when my parents left in February, I was like, my kids have a really bad habit of if I have an appointment with a client or if I'm doing a workshop, they will just come in my room. They don't treat my room like an office. Oh, mommy, Zari's not doing this. Sorry, guys, 2 seconds. And they're like, no, it's okay. You're a mom. But it's like, no, like,
Yeah.
in me being an advisor to you, I can't be the mom card right now,
Yes.
But I do also understand when I'm speaking to people on Zoom, they're more lenient with it
Mhm.
because they do understand, right? So in terms of doing the workshop in May, it's called Get Clear or Stay Stuck.
Mhm.
And it was intentionally done because I do find when people have goals for the year, things happen and then they just don't want to achieve them anymore. But it's like, how long do you want to sit in that rut of sadness? Like, I don't know. I just don't even like being sad. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just found just doing the Get Clear or Stay Stuck will help people say, hey, you know what? This is what I thought for myself, what my finances may have looked like. But Philly gave me a different perspective that I probably wouldn't have imagined. Or, I overwhelm myself so much that, in hearing this workshop, maybe my situation is not that bad. It's like I want people to not be so embarrassed or ashamed about where they are. I also stress we're at a certain age that I personally, I just don't want to struggle. I'm a decade closer to 40 compared to others,
Yeah.
and I don't want to struggle in my 40s. Like, if I have the room to work hard every day in my 30s, then I will do it. Because when I turn 40, I don't want to work. No, I want to do enjoyment.
I think I said the same thing too. I'm like,
Yeah.
by the age of 40, with all due respect, like,
And
man,
life is going to be really
thank you.
expensive.
Yes.
I can't fathom that.
Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
agree. But like so then you yourself you're a mentor to some people. What's the
Yeah.
best advice like would you give somebody?
The best advice I would give somebody is definitely pay attention to your mindset. I
Mhm.
think that's the most important thing. Your brain is a very powerful, powerful organ. And if you just at least maybe automize in your brain, okay, if it's so easy for me to say a negative thought, why? Then backtrack and say something positive about yourself. I think that is like my most important advice. Get out of your brain and just be positive.
Yeah, I always think about the story in the Bible. I don't want to be too like Bible,
Bible-ish.
Bible.
Right, right.
But like we there was men who they have leprosy. I think there were four men who
Mm.
they were standing on at a gate, and then they're like, if we stay here, we will die because there's no food, there's no help. But if we enter also, we may die because they're going to their enemies and they have leprosy.
Yeah.
So then it's funny enough that they when they entered, they didn't die because though the people were staying in that region had heard a sound and that was the
No.
sound of God, but they heard a sound and then they had to like leave because they heard the sound. They thought like in the army is coming against them, so they
Right.
had to run away.
Right.
But it was only four people whom God saw and then just blessed them. So once they
Mm.
entered, they got jewelries, they got most expensive stuff. And
Yeah.
then I always tell people like, if you want to start a business, if you dream of a certain life, I love when people do the, you know what? We need to do an event
Mhm.
where we do the board. Like
Vision boards.
please,
Yes.
can we?
Those are
Yeah.
powerful.
I think some people haven't done it,
Oh
though we
yeah,
think
I
it's April.
know.
Can we do something to help people
Right.
like vision board?
We should do one next month. Or not next month, but maybe in June.
June?
So I also have a workshop that I'm working on where it's
Okay.
like it's 6 months into the year.
Okay.
Same thing. Where are you with your goals? Like, did you give up or are you still pushing?
Okay, can
And
Bella let's talk work with you?
I think we should
Okay.
do something like that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
vision boards are really powerful. Like I have two that I've done.
Wow.
And it's funny, like I'll look at them, I'll be like, oh, this happened, or I was able to do this and I was able to do that. There's some things on the vision board that still haven't been completed. But again, I think people also forget that life is not a race, it's a journey,
Mm.
which is like most important. And also to operate like a child sometimes in life. Like, don't do everything so serious. I don't know where in life that force us to be serious and lose like our creative side and being silly sometimes. Cause I don't know about you, but there's people that are just so serious and they're like sticklers. It's like, who paid you to be so tight? Like, relax. Oh my gosh.
I
Like, you're robbing
agree.
yourself of joy, I find. Like,
Yeah. Because I
Mm-mm.
found some people we're jumping everywhere. I love this. Where I found some people doing two jobs, right? I was
Yeah.
doing two jobs, but I was like, why am I killing myself? But for me, it was a plan. Like
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, we do these two jobs just for one to cover certain things that I need to cover quickly. And then
Yeah.
I need to think again because I'm still young. I'm not gonna be killing myself. And then by
Right.
the time, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
So if you wanna build a business, guys, we beg you, like start small, be real to yourself, and then be like put it in a plan. This vision board, we
Mm-hmm.
have to plan it. And then what you have to do is always remember if you stay where you are, indeed, you're gonna be living on paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Your job may fire you and you don't even have $5 in your name. I know it's in Canada, we can apply for EI, yes, but don't be comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I know.
you can own your own home, you can own like do businesses. So like know that if you have faith to step in, God will make a way for you.
No,
Like
for
just
sure.
step in. Because I know when you started your own, you didn't think you'll be where you are.
Oh no, and it's so funny. Like I didn't even see me even trying to get my license would bring me to a point like this. I literally started off as a client. I just said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna be a mother of three. This is my situation. I need help." And then that I need help went from okay, let me mentor you to this became a business opportunity, and now it's like, girl, I love what I do.
Imagine.
I
And now
know.
like they're doing well. Because
Yeah.
you have your own clients and now you're doing
Right.
so much. Guys, to even book her, I have to ask, are you free on this day? Let me check my calendar. I'm like, yes, girl, let's go. But honestly, please, let's do the vision board because there's something I want to learn from you. It's how you do
Aw.
your calendar. Because I think if I do that, then my manager will be mad at me for missing,
Yeah.
important meetings and stuff. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bella, let's we
Woo!
have completed our first series on finance. So see you soon for our next episode. Bye.